Today is January 15th, 2026. I am interviewing John W. Anderson at the Butler VA Medical Center in Butler, Pennsylvania. Mr. Anderson is 99 years of age and was born on February 9, 1927.
Six.
I'm sorry, 1926. My name is Chuck Jennings. I am being assisted by George Richardson, videographer. Mr. Anderson, what branch of service were you in? United States.
I was in here, then he might have to speak up.
What branch of service were you in?
The infantry,
United States Army?
United States Army.
And what was the highest rank you achieved?
Well, I
Second lieutenant?
was a buck sergeant, but then I was able to get to be a second lieutenant in
And
reserves.
where and where did you serve? Here in the States?
And I served in the United States and in Germany.
Before we get on to your military experience, let's start back at high school. Where'd you grow up at?
East Brady,
What did
Pennsylvania.
Did you do anything in high school?
Well, I played basketball. As I mentioned, I was in the band, and took the studies that were permitted that day, or that year or two, to graduate.
Now, you were there for the war years, the bigger part of the war years. What were you, do you remember back towards December 7th and, that Monday morning and hearing and what was going on and the radio and what was going on in Europe and the Pacific?
Yes, I had an older brother who already was in the service. He was one of the first ones to go.
What branch of service did he serve in?
Air Force.
Air Force? Ground crew or in an aircraft?
Ground crew.
Ground crew. So, did he serve in the Europe or Pacific?
Pacific.
So, you were following that pretty close. Do you recall anything standing out in your mind about the war and what was going on?
Well, yes. Some of it went back to my father, who was in World War I. He was an infantryman. He was gassed and wounded, was lost in action, and then was found in a French hospital later on. And he lived till he was 98. So yes, going to the service was something I wanted to do because my father was in it, and my brother too. So,
Well, along came your high school graduation. So what did you do at that point when you graduated? What was going on in around the community? Did you find a job right away, or did you enlist right away?
yeah, I had a job right away, a day job. While I was in high school, I signed up and was reviewed for the Air Force. That was before I even graduated. And I thought maybe I'd get to go to the Air Force, but they didn't call through soon enough.
So, did you get a postcard in the mail saying, come and join us for some fun? Or how did you get involved in the Army?
Well, the card came to say that you should appear at a certain place to be checked out for the Army.
So, what were some of your experiences there? Standing in line, having doctors turn your head and cough, and
Well, it wasn't that bad. Like in East Brady, you didn't have large list of people. There was fewer people, but you went there and you went through without too much trouble.
so once you completed that, how soon did you get your call-up papers?
Oh boy, I don't know.
Well, a month, a week? That's fine. If you don't remember, that's fine. So at some point, a letter did come
Yeah,
and said, meet me, you're gonna get your bus or a train at this point and go to there and get your train to
that's
somewhere.
right. Yeah,
So,
go to Pittsburgh here and to take a train. Yes. But,
so where did you go to from that point on the train?
down to, oh, I can't even think of the place. Down in, it was Georgia.
Georgia? Benning?
What was it?
Benning?
No. It was, oh, I can't even think of the place now. Stephen, you said it a while ago.
Fort Campbell.
Fort Campbell.
What was it?
Fort
Fort
Campbell.
Campbell's in Kentucky.
Fort Campbell, Kentucky. Yeah.
So, once you got there, what was your experiences there like? I mean, I'm sure you never did a dorm experience before, and I'm sure you didn't have a sergeant come along and kicking butt. And so, what was some of your experiences like?
Well, I guess maybe I should say it, but I sort of liked it. I enjoyed being there, doing things outside. Couple times my rifle wasn't quite right, and I had to stay out at night and clean rifles that were shipped in, take the oil and grease off of them. And,
Cosmoline, that's a dirty, dirty job.
and that was dirty, but I didn't mind it. And you had to take your time and do things that maybe you didn't want to. A number of the people tried to fight back, but it didn't do much good. You had, to me, you were there for a reason, and I sort of got along all right. I didn't have any trouble.
Where did you do your basic training?
But
Where did you do your basic training?
we're right there where we said,
Fort Campbell.
yeah,
Did you ever go to Fort McClellan?
Fort McClellan, yeah.
That's where you picked up clothes, probably. Fort McClellan was where you picked up your clothes,
Yeah,
your duffel bag and your clothes, and then from there you went on down.
and,
But, so, I mean, you were in wrestling, so you did a bunch of miles, because that's what I did when I was in wrestling. You did a lot of running, get in shape, so you must have been in pretty good shape then at that time. do the physical exercising and, over the obstacles and things like that?
Yeah.
You never had any problem with any of that?
No, I sort of enjoyed being out and running around and doing things.
So, once you completed your training, did you get a chance to come home, or did you go to your next station?
Well, after training, they sent me. Oh, shoot.
Did you go to Fort
Oh,
Campbell?
well, that's when they sent me after the training to the
Down to Benning?
to the band.
Okay. So let's go into that a little bit. So once you completed your boot camp, what happened at that point? Sergeant said, usually they read you, after you graduated, they read you Anderson, band, Williams, infantry, something like that. Did they have that going on, and then you got a notice that you were going to the band?
Yeah. As I said, I went to the band not knowing I was going to the band. I just got shipped out with the rest of us. But I don't know if there was anyone else went to the band at the same time. It could have been, I don't know. But
So tell me about your experience in the band.
what's that?
Your experience in the band.
Well, you were there and you would practice and do things. They had a lot of free time, and I know one of the band people who was in charge met up with me, and he was talking to me, and he said, and I told him who I was, and he said, yeah, I was into the place where you stay, and I want you to know you are the nicest. You had a big storage case at the foot of your bed, and he looked at that, and I had everything just perfect. And he said, thank you for serving so good. Apparently, the other band people were not
Neat.
wanting to keep things as neat and nice as
As you did.
soldiers should.
So, at some point, they had you trying out for the band. They said, okay, in this date, you're going to go and try out. So, you decided to do something about that. Can you go into that a little?
So
When the officer, you were trying out, they handed you the music sheet and you had to play in front of them?
no,
It's did you have to apply using your instrument to get in the band?
did I have to what?
Take a test with your instrument to get in the band?
No.
You had said previously that you weren't going to play very well because you wanted out of the band.
Well, yeah, I knew that I wasn't good because I hadn't played clarinet for over a year, and here's a clarinet they gave me that I never had, and here they gave me music that I was not familiar with, and they wanted me to play, and I knew that this wasn't going to work out. But
So-
that didn't bother me. I didn't mind that.
I don't know if he could read. Could you read music
Could you read music?
on a paper? Could you read music on a paper?
On a paper?
Yeah, to play it.
Yeah,
You could read music?
yeah. Yeah.
So you decided to get out of that experience, and I guess you went for eight weeks for automotive mechanical instructor.
Yeah.
What
Well-
happened there?
We weren't fully instructors, but we went through the program, and then we were ones, some were selected to help demonstrate. Now, what we did, we were not teachers in the classroom, although we had classrooms, but they had teachers. We had, like I had a 2.5 ton truck engine, and it was painted and everything. It was a model. And that's where I would be, and they would bring me them, and we would go over them with hands-on and talking about the engine. And some of them knew a lot about it, and some of them had never even seen an engine. So we were not actually the teachers, but we were the helpers to get those people knowledgeable about what they were going to be learning when they were in the classroom.
Now, was there any paperwork with that, or was it just all hands-on?
There was paperwork, yes. In fact, they had what the engine could do and things like that they kept for their classroom. They would be, I think they wanted to find out if there were people who would be mechanics for the Army. I could tell the difference really between the people from West Point and the regular Army people going through. West Point was there to listen and to ask questions and to observe, and they were terrific. Then we'd get regular Army people coming through to do what we had to do, and they really didn't want to pay too much attention. Some of them, one person one time there, he said, "I'm tired standing up, I'm going to sit down." Well, there was a master sergeant there who walked around and checked everything. That poor fellow was taken by the master sergeant and put aside. So many of these regular Army people going through were going to be picked out, I think, to be regular mechanics somewhere in the Army. So,
And the trash was sent to the infantry. The guys that couldn't make it were sent to the infantry.
right.
Once you completed that, what was going on after your 8 weeks there? You completed those 8 weeks. What happened next? After your 8 weeks in the automotive department?
Well, we just we helped there at other times too. They needed people to organize the rooms. Some of the chairs needed repaired or painted or something, and we were able to do a number of things.
So were you stationed there till the end of 46, or did you go anyplace else?
We were there to the end.
So in 46, you got out.
46.
So you got out. So what did you decide to do once you got out?
Go to college.
And where was that at?
Clarion, State Teachers College, Clarion, Pennsylvania.
And why did you choose teaching?
Well, that college was close to where I lived, about 23 miles. And of course I could have gone to Slippery Rock too if I'd have wanted to. But I had friends who went to Clarion, and I went when they went too. So.
Do you find any of the courses more difficult than other courses?
No.
No. So, at the completion of your 4 years, did you work during the summer times or anything when you had off? During spring breaks, or did you work any other time? Out in the community or doing anything?
Yes, I did. I had a job with a road crew in Allegheny Asphalt that did asphalt work. But there were other things I did too in the summer. I would find a class in the summer at school. I even went to Indiana University, Pennsylvania during summer to take an art course that I needed to take. So I even went to college sometime during the summer. But I did work when I could.
Road crew's a tough job in that heat.
Well, yeah, but I was in good shape. I worked out of the office.
Okay, well, then when you graduated, what year did you graduate?
Well, graduated in 50. Went to 46 to 50.
You graduated in 1950, and Korea came up.
Right.
So,
I went into service again.
so tell me about, they just, because you were inactive, they said, oh, well, we need you back in? How did that come about?
I just got a notice that I was supposed to report to a certain place at a certain time. And there was another fellow who lived a few miles away from me, got in touch with me and said that he got information like that. So he and I both went together I drove to it was in Kentucky.
So when you drove down to Kentucky, what did they have you doing down there at that point?
Well, we did normally what we did when we were first into the service. We would go on walking trips. We'd go and shoot. And the thing is that the people there were mostly people who were in service before. Some of them were sergeants, some of them were corporals. There weren't what you call privates there. There were a few, but most of these people had been in the service before, so they were in the second time. So some things they didn't have to do, exercise they did, and shooting, and
Well,
that's about.
yeah, that's enough. So once you completed your basic, now was it a full 8 weeks or was it shortened?
It wasn't. It was not more than a month or more.
Yeah, usually the cadre got a shortened course. So, once you completed that, what did they have you lined up to do? You took some tests again, I guess. And where were they going to put you?
Well, they just took us to, I think it was close to Baltimore, on a train, and then we got on a boat that was there.
Was it a naval boat or was it a civil boat?
It was a boat to carry the Army.
A troop transport.
Yeah, when I got on, being my name was A, I was one of the first people to get on, which I went down to the very bottom of the boat. I don't know how many steps I went down, and I went back to where the propellers were for the ship, and they had the beds there 2 to 3 high, and you went down, you picked out one of the beds that
I guess you were fortunate to get a top rack.
I got the top bed.
So at some time the ship filled up with guys and you left port. Where did you think you were going?
There was words going around. Everybody kept saying, well, we're heading towards
Korea.
And So nobody knew and nobody said anything much. But we all sort of questioned if we were going to Korea, why didn't we go over to California and get a boat and go to California, or go to Korea then. But after about 3 days, we found out that we were headed north and going across the Atlantic Ocean. And
Now, did you know at that time you're going to be attached to the Signal Corps?
no,
Nope, you just,
I had no idea. And there was a friend that I met. He was from Pittsburgh, and he didn't know where he was going either. And I got to where we were going first, and then I noticed one day he arrived there. So I don't know where he was in the time, but he came and was there.
there were a lot of people on board at one of those transports. He could have been on there at different time to eat and everything. You know. But how was your crossing? Was it an easy crossing or was it a little rough crossing?
Well, it was, the one was, storm was really bad. They closed everything up tight, and when the boat would hit into a wave, the back of the boat would go up, and that's when the propellers or whatever in the back shook the boat tremendously, because there wasn't any water there. It was out of the water.
And you were in the back end.
Out in the back end, and boy, we were shook. And you didn't sleep too much. That was the only one time, though. The rest of the time was pretty good.
If you remember, how long did it take you to cross? It's not if you remember.
Oh,
A week?
about a week, I think, because we went up between England and France and that to get to the Netherlands, and we got out and got on train there, and they took us direct down south.
So, where did you end up?
Well, I ended up at the 97th Signal Operation Battalion. That I was in headquarters company.
So, tell me about a little bit what you did there during that period of time.
Well, I was in what they called I&E. That was Information and Education. Information was that we got information even from Washington, D.C. And then we had to give it out to other units in the area. Sometimes we would there might be a letter or something, and we would take them to these other places. We had an engineering company that was with us where we were located. And and then the education, the Army has something that says to like a private or whatever, if you want to be rewarded here by getting to be a corporal or whatever, you're going to have a certain amount of education. So those people, many of them were from the engineering department. There wasn't many, but 6 or 8 came, and we had to help them with math and reading, help them to be able to read whatever Army material they might have to read, and also to do math too. So we were busy at times. They would come certain times during the week for sessions, and then we had a large room that had all the tents, or tents, not tents, but maps of Germany and France, which we had located and had to take care of. And we did field work too. There were times our unit had to go out into the timberland someplace, set up for a session, and then we would contact other units that had also gone out to make sure that we could get in touch with each other in case we were needed. So we were kept pretty busy doing things.
Now, how were the Russians? Did you have any experience with them when you went out for your maneuvers?
No, we were, I think, too far south for Russian. But,
So,
although we had Germans that were working for us.
now, how did you become put in for second lieutenant? How did that come about?
Well, I got a notice. I don't know why or how. It indicated anybody who might be eligible for becoming an officer, that you would have to sign up. So I had to go get a physical and get signed up, and I didn't think about it, but most of my friends said, you got to try for it and see. And of course, having graduated from college was a big help too. That so it just worked out that way.
Now, did you take any courses before you took your tests? They usually had little courses that you take. You finished that booklet, then you went on to another booklet, or it was just in-field experience?
Well, we didn't take any courses exactly as you would take a course, but when we were there, when I was there, I said it was quite a while, and all the people there were officers, captains, majors, and they all had different questions to ask, and you had to try to answer them.
Well, that's when you went up for the board, for a field promotion. That's where you went up for the board for the field promotion. They started asking you questions rather than sending you back to school. When you started, you weren't sent back for additional schooling then. You went up in front of a board who asked you the questions.
Right.
Okay. And did you have any idea how you did or
No, I had no idea. I left, and it was later on that I got to the mail that stated it was received.
So when did they put the bars on you? How did that come about?
What's that?
When did they put the bars on you?
I didn't put bars on.
Oh. Okay. You passed the course,
Yeah.
and then what happened?
Well, I didn't hear from them for quite a while. So,
Well, did you come, excuse me, in '52, did you come back home or
I think, yeah, I was coming back home.
when you heard about your promotion?
Yeah.
Okay, so coming back home, was it a much better ride on board ship?
Yes.
Tell me about what was life like on board ship. I mean, your berthing place went and ate all at one time, then noontime meal came, or did you eat twice or 3 times a day?
Well, I ate very little. I was good about going to lunch or dinner, but once I started to eat, I couldn't. I could eat crackers and bread and things, but some of the other stuff I couldn't eat. So I didn't. Breakfast was all right, but some of the other meals weren't too good.
So you got back home.
I got back home, right.
You come into New York, or did you come into Baltimore, or where'd you come into?
Yeah, it was down around Baltimore. I'm not sure what place.
So did you sign your discharge papers there?
Did I what?
Sign your discharge papers there? Or-
Yes.
So basically you were free, but you still had a commitment for 4 more years? As you went in active reserve again after you got out?
Right.
Okay, so that tied you up for like 4 more years.
And then I got a notice that asked if I wanted to renew and go on, and I could go from second lieutenant to first lieutenant if I re-up for another time. Well, I wasn't doing that because I was married and had a child. So.
Well, I didn't even go over when did you get married?
52.
52. So, that changed everything. It certainly did. So, did you have child right away, or?
No, shortly after, yes.
So, what did you take up for your profession then? What did you do for your work in life? Your life's work?
I was a teacher,
Okay.
and then I was a principal.
Okay, what grades were you a teacher for?
What did I teach?
Well, what grades and what did you teach?
Well, I taught about every grade. I taught physical science in high school and history. And I taught elementary school, just about all the grades except first grade or kindergarten. And then I became principal of the elementary school.
So how long were you in the teaching profession?
I was there, about 35 years.
35? So during that period of time, you had, a couple of sons. Were there any other children?
No,
And with your boys, do they have any grandkids?
yes, my one son has 3 girls and a boy, and the one girl has 2 great-granddaughters.
Do you know their names?
Pardon?
Do you remember their names?
Remember their name?
Yes.
Zelda and Talia.
And the 3 girls and the 1 boy?
Oh, the other girls, all right. Renee, Deborah, Luke, and Lauren.
So, is your wife still with you?
Go with me.
Yes, or she passed. Did your wife pass?
No, she died in 2013 at 81.
So, you're staying at your old house that you've had for,
No,
where are you staying at now?
staying here in Butler at 203 Brookstone Court.
So, at this time, is there anything that you could think about that you might want to add that we didn't cover?
No, this is the first I really even have thought about time past.
Yeah, it goes quick.
Time goes by pretty fast.
Yeah, it does.
But I can say that, and maybe you shouldn't say that I, looking back now, I enjoyed the being in the service. It's not really the service I thought I was going to have, but I still enjoyed it.
Well, I would like to thank you for this interview, and I thank you for your service to this nation. Thank you, sir.